What's up, baby?
Bro, brother, I'm good with it.
Go. You were looking at a distinguished weapons expert, bro. You got to put respect on the name. That's right.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you, sir. Bro, I've said it a few times. I'm like, bro, if you go to law school and you could put Esquire at the end of your name, I should be able to put DWE at the end of my name now.
You should be able to say that.
Certified, baby. Why not?
You're an idiot, bro. What's good with it, brother? Tell me
Well, I just
how was it?
finished 2 weeks becoming a fully federally certified firearms instructor.
Ooh.
And I will say, I have a new respect for instructors running the tower,
Mm-hmm.
breaking, like, how do for me, it's like I always felt like naturally, I just know how to shoot. Come from the holster, is this your body? He's like, all right, break that down. Like, what are you looking for? You can see when it's not right, but why is it not right?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, dude. So like the breakdown was something that was new for me, and
Mm-hmm.
transition from the pistol to the rifle to the shotgun. I got to use a bunch of different tools and techniques, and then also a lot of training gear, which I thought was cool because I don't have any with me. But
Yeah.
I mean, they had like the old plastic gun where you just learn how to maneuver it, but it's advanced to you have guns now. They're usually a completely different color, but you have guns now that will cycle
Mm-hmm.
uh, as you pull the trigger, so you get a feel for it. Although the firing pin's either been removed, shaved down, so it can't fire a live round.
Okay.
Weighted magazines, so you know what the weight of it should feel like.
Mm-hmm.
They have ones that you fill with like CO2. It's still not exactly the same like as a 9 millimeter or a 357. Like that's something hard to replicate without it actually being a bullet in there.
Yeah.
But some of the technology was really cool, man. And some of it, I'm like, yo, I kind of want to buy that personally. They had a lot of gun ranges don't have the turning targets, so you can put it on a timer.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, 3 rounds, 5 seconds. The target turns. You shoot the target. It turns back. It edges away from you. Not all gun ranges have that, but they sell them now where they're mobile, so you could buy one. I think it's like $1,500. It ain't cheap, but you can set it up and it just runs remote off of like a battery control.
Yeah.
So like you put one in your backyard, bro. If you got enough space. I was like,
Right.
yo, that's kind of dope, bro. I mean, just work on your speed and that kind of thing. So those were, some of those things. Because again, the idea being, hey, you're going to be the firearms instructor for your agency, so you're going to be in charge of ordering guns, ammo, training tools, teaching. You might be teaching your own academy. You know what I mean? Teaching your guys, and these are some tools you could have. And I'm actually going to ask you this question. Was part of the training. They're like, hey, for somebody who's never shot a gun or very limited, maybe hunting, which is totally different than drawing from a holster and
Yeah.
firing a weapon. How do you feel about the first time shooting, go through like, I don't know, 20, 30 rounds, no target, you're just shooting into a berm?
Hmm. I guess taking the pressure off of it. Like, no, you're not.
Well, what are you looking for initially? Someone who's never done it before.
Oh, if they do, what am I looking for to watch somebody shooting into a burn? Oh,
Yeah, there's no target, so there's not. You
okay.
don't have any data feedback, right? You can't say,
Mhm.
"Hey, you're on target." You have none of that. All of that's been eliminated. So now, what's the purpose of it,
Oh, definitely the trigger reset prep, and definitely to see if they're gonna anticipate the fucking rounds.
dude? With dummy round stuff, I will say because this is what I liked about it. They were like, pros and cons, and I was like, no, that's dumb. Like you need to have a baseline. This was my opinion. I was like, no, you need to have a baseline. Like, are they way fucking off? What are they doing? And the instructors go, yeah, okay, I hear you. And then one of the other, was like, well, I guess you could really look at their fundamentals and how they're doing that. And I'm like, and again, I'm telling you, I was pretty staunch. Like, no, that's what are you doing here? Like,
Hmm.
you need to know where a baseline. Then we did it with some of the trainings, and I was like, oh,
I get it now.
yeah, no, they shouldn't have it because a lot of times, right, students or people learning,
Yeah.
all their fundamentals are fucked up. So
Hmm.
they hit the target, they hit it fucking bottom or whatever, and all they do is they just adjust the gun to wherever they want the, instead of working
Exactly.
on, hey, why did you do that? And again, 20, 30 rounds, you say, hey, this is what you're doing. Hey, you're squeezing, all these little things, you can see it clearly because there's nothing to shoot at. Also, the speed, bro. I thought this one dude was fucking with me. I'm like, are you fucking with me, man? Like, are you? He's like, no, what are you doing? PJ, finger off the trigger, wham, all the way off the trigger again, like this. Every round was full off, and then no, wasn't feeling the slag, easy, none of that. He just wham, wham, wham. I'm like, bro, are you fucking with me? Like, hold on, bro. We need to like go all the way. We need to work backwards with you. God damn. And then
Uh,
my favorite was when you put the dummy round in there and they're there and they go, and they dump it. Cause
yeah,
I'm like, good lord, bro,
the dip, bro. Everybody knows. Everybody got the dip, bro.
bro. Especially when they first started. I will also say I made a push. Not that it means anything. I'm not
Yeah.
going to change nothing, but I'm like, you see, you and I have talked about this. They always want a one size fits all for pistols, and I'm like, that's asinine for
No.
multiple reasons. I understand it's expensive, but this is a tool that could save your life or take somebody else's life. You
Yeah.
should, one, know how to use it, but two, feel comfortable using it. I mean, bro, yeah, bro, exactly. And then you have bro, and then you have a female with hands like this big,
Exactly.
and they're like having to hold the gun like on here to try to stretch and bro.
Yeah. No.
Or, bro, I had a guy, not, he was like probably 6'8", 6'9", bro, but hands like he had a Glock 19, no backstrap on it.
No backdrop, bro.
He, it was like this. He could probably pull the trigger with his fucking back here, bro. I was like, and then he was trying to hold it with two hands.
Uh,
The muzzle was like resting here. I'm like, bro. I went like this. I was like, hey, time out, time out. I said, this is not, and he's never shot a gun before.
oh my God,
And
terrible.
he's trying to hold it like this, and I'm like, oh my God. And so they went and they put they still had, unfortunately, the agency had to shoot a 19, but they put the extra large.
Yep.
They actually make two X, just so you know now. It looks ridiculous because the fucking, the grip is like this big and the barrel is like, it's, but
Yeah.
when he did that, all of a sudden his hand fit better.
Yeah. I
And
mean, I got the backdrop on mine. I actually probably need a 2X because
that, bro, I didn't even know they made them. They're like, yeah, it's not like a standard. You got to order that shit. But I'm like, and then God bless her, this female, like she was crushing it. And it's not just females. We all have, the male deputy has to use a couch cushion so he can see over this terrible. So it's not a male female thing. But in this case, dude, it didn't, no backstrap. She was like here and she was barely on it, and she could just stretch her finger. And I was just like, I don't know I was like, you really need like a subcompact. That's what you need. But
you need a
so,
Glock 27.
so again, I say we need to be thinking about these things. I know it might cost a little extra. It can't be that many people with fucking bare paws and tiny hands, but there should be some options for some of these people because I'm like, good God Almighty.
Oh my God.
Or bro, the fucking like the grip ends here, so you got all this free space. You're like, can I get the little hilarious, hilarious.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
I just remember because you're like, bro, I, I know I can shoot, man. Fuck, like what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm looking at your fucking trigger was back here, bro. And they're like, BJ, bro, come on, man, let's get the grip on it.
Uh,
And I did see it. I did see it one time, quickly addressed, but somebody was trying to shoot it with. They had their finger on the slide and they were using this finger. I'm like, bro, what is even happening right now? Stop it.
well, that's fucking great.
Yeah, I try not to be too hard, bro, because again, they're learning, bro. They're 2 weeks into training. They've never shot a gun before. You give them, they went through a week of. You want to talk about monotonous, bro? A week of dry fire
Ooh.
on virtual range. I'm just like, oh god, oh god.
Ooh.
Brutal.
My God, bro. My part to you, I mean, I think, yeah, because that is an 80-hour certification, isn't it?
Oh yeah, bro. It ain't, bro. We had to do fail the last day.
That's tough.
Yeah. I was like, shit, bro.
That's tough. I mean, well, to your credit, we saw bump school was 6 weeks, and I saw us seeing people get fail the last test or not pass practicals, or yeah, they're like, yeah, that fucking sucks.
It, I will say, I think this is where law enforcement, it's a disservice. You basically get into the class and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna pass. They're gonna
Yeah,
pass me whether yeah. That I
okay.
will say that is a lot of how training goes.
Gotta take that shit serious, man.
Yeah, bro. And the dude that didn't make it, bro, I love that guy to death. And I think well, that's the other thing I didn't know this class because I was never a firearms instructor. I always wanted to be a firearms instructor. Almost, I'm trying to think, and I didn't talk, I didn't ask every single person individually, but the large majority, if not everybody else, was already firearms instructors for their agency. And I'm like, then what the fuck are you doing here? They're like, yeah, that's for my agency. If I ever transfer or whatever, it doesn't carry over.
Mm.
And I guess that's common. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
They're like, but with this certification, you can teach firearms to any
Anyway,
agency anywhere in the country. And I was like, oh,
okay.
I mean, the feather in the old cap, but you know.
Yeah, we can all see
Oh,
that.
so anyway, so hold on, let me tie into then the instructor part. All right. So anyone who's ever been on a firearm, military, law enforcement, you hear the tower, shooters, 3 rounds, 5 seconds from the holster,
Holster.
ready. But hold on. So there's a timing and a pace. But hold on. And then they do it, and they're like, all right, shooters, strong hand, whatever, all the instructions that come from the tower. But there's a pace to it, and there's a flow.
Mm-hmm.
We all had to do, I think, 3 or 4 courses of fire from the tower. And I'll tell you my fuck up here in a second because I did fuck up. But you also, people who were either one, way too fast, be like shooters, 3 rounds, 5 seconds, boom, the target, you're like, oh, shit. Or they had this one guy, he was trying to figure out the next course of fire. So people were standing, barricade, aimed in for like a minute and a half. Just, bro, your
Bloody
arm started going, because he was trying to, and again, he was trying to work through it.
compressed ready.
Oh, bro. There was one time it was so it was probably getting on 2 minutes. I said, "Everybody holster your weapon." Like I just called it, on, because I was on the firing line. I said, "Holster your weapon," and then like 10 seconds later, he had it. But I was like, "Bro, you can't leave people out here for minutes on end
Yeah.
while you're figuring out what you want to say." Then on top of that, people have their radio voice, right?
Ah.
So all of a sudden they get real deep, real sultry. I'm like, bro, you don't. Or the flip side, and I felt so bad for this guy, great dude. He gets on there, he's like, "Hey, it's shooters." The entire, bro, the entire firing line, all the instructors, everybody stopped and looked back to the towers like laughing at him, bro.
Uh,
So he was like, oh, and then all of a sudden you hear his octave change in his voice. And then we had another guy. So again, words matter, right?
yeah.
So if you're like, hey, holster your weapons, make sure the firing line's clear. Everyone does that, hands behind your back. All right, go ahead and pick up whatever you dropped. Boom, 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 move to the whatever yard, right? He was like, hey, holster your weapons, bend over, pick up. Everyone's like, what? So everybody just was like bent over, like, yo, what, bro? What are you saying right now? Well, he's like, again, we were learning. And then my fuck up. So when you have a course of fire, you have what you're supposed to say on the
Mm-hmm.
PA, but then you also have like, hey, what are you trying to accomplish with this course of fire?
Yeah.
So I walk into the booth. It's my turn. He's and the instructor. I'm not blaming him. It's my fault. He goes, hey, make sure you read the course of fire so you know what you're doing. And I said, okay. So I just pick up the PA and I start reading the course of fire, which is paragraphs long. He only let me do like 2 sentences, and he goes, "Not that part, you idiot. The other part." And it's on the PA, and everybody's laughing at me, and I'm like, "Damn it!" because that's for you, not for them.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh. But I will say, because then we would also have to be on the line while they're calling, like learning.
Mhm.
I mean, again, we all can shoot. Everyone could shoot. Like we knew what we were doing, and depending on who was calling, bro, people didn't know bullet counts, how many bullets were everywhere. Because oh shit, and you're trying to get it off, and bro, it fucks up your shooting. And I was like, you know what? I have a newfound respect to instructors who got to do that shit because I was all fucked up.
Oh God. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, I can kind of.
Also, also because they showed us all the different. They have like 60 different courses of fire depending on the agency.
Mhm.
Typically, they're all the same. 60 rounds, 25 yards, blah blah blah, whatever. I won't name the agency because it doesn't matter. It rhymes with fish and wildlife. Um, they had BJ. Imagine this for, if you will. They had probably 20 magazine exchanges, fire 2 rounds, tactical reload with like a full round. So it hit the ground, bullets flying everywhere, get a new, and then you pick it up, you got to reload it. And then you do, all right, do a magazine exchange where you take the full, and then you put another one in, and you're just like, but I'm talking like you're shooting 60 rounds. I would at least 20. Everyone was like, yo, what was that course of fire? Don't ever do that again. I
Don't
don't
ever do
want
that.
that. What are
Not
we
that.
doing?
No. What is that? What is that?
So there's a lot that goes into it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, bro. But you also went through some training too, man.
Yeah, man. So I went to California, first time in Cali, Los Angeles, Temecula area.
Oh, bro, did you go into Temecula? It's actually kind of
Yes,
dope.
yes, I did.
The
Yeah,
adult arcade and shit, bro. I
yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great trip, bro. We were out there for a week. Got to see the. I'd never seen the Pacific Ocean, like standing on the coast, and I'm like, bro, this was beautiful. I'm like, bro, this is like I feel like it's the only place in the country you can just be looking out and see mountains and rolling hills and a coastline and a beach and I'm like, oh, this is. I'm like, why don't more people do that? Like, I travel, I've traveled, a bit, whatever, and usually, especially going to some of these classes or whatever, small towns, I'm like, you don't have to live here, right? Like, you can. There's other places in the country you can go to. Like, you don't have to
Yeah,
stay,
yeah, yeah.
small town America. You can go somewhere else, right? But this is one of the first places I was like, I've gone to, and I'm like, damn, am I living in the wrong place? I was like, this is beautiful. I was like, I had to. It was 75 degrees, and I'm like, we're standing in the desert, because the training thing was out in Temecula, whatever, like in the open fucking desert. I'm like, oh, the mountains, whatever, the old Air Force base, whatever. So planes flying all over shit, and I'm like, and it dawned on me, and I kept kind of like doing this thing, and the instructor finally was like, bro, are you okay? Like, are you good? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, we're from Florida, so like typically being out in the sun like this in a hoodie, I'd be sweating my ass off. I haven't had an ounce of sweat since I've been here. Right? He's like, are you sure you're okay? I was like, yeah, I'm, I'm just trying to make sure like I'm okay. I think I'm okay, but
Yeah.
it's like, am I dying? Am I alive? Like, what's something wrong with my body? He's like, oh yeah, no. There's no humidity out here. I'm like, yeah, so it's like just a different tent, bro. It was beautiful. It felt amazing. Beautiful, 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 beautiful trip. Definitely have to get back out there again for sure. But the course itself um, was a critical infrastructure course, whatever. So it was like all these different vendors, show up, and in the bomb world, I mean, it's you can only make so many things. But like one of the tools that we used, they had a company uh, from England come and basically show us like the stand that we use or whatever, and he's explaining it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, damn, why the fuck did I think of that? I was like, it was just so the design was so simple and so practical. I was just like, huh, why did I think of that? I'm like, it's so light and easy to use, and I'm like, I'm about to make a lot of money with this, and I wish I was like, damn, I could have thought of it. It's like so simple that somebody like, so simple that it should have been thought of, and like, why didn't you start here with this?
Yeah.
So it was good. We saw a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff we as an agency are very very lucky. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, Tampa is the only region. I didn't know this until a couple years ago. Is the only region in the United States that has ATF, FBI, a regional team, and state fire marshal. It's the only place. Oh, and a military base. It's the only place in the country that has all four of those things in the same city.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Right, it's like it's the only like some places don't even have like two. Like we're the only one. We have all five in the same spot. So so we were not realizing how like we go to some of these other classes and talk to some of these other teams. They're like, yeah, we've never seen this before. I was like, yeah, we've got three of those. We've got two of those. We've got this. I've seen this before. Yeah, another
Yeah.
guy, our team has this. And I was like, so damn, what kind of well, very very well trained in the region for sure, but like definitely spoiled with just like able to kind of like get access to a lot of these different things. It's so very fortunate, very lucky, but it's definitely a nice trip for sure.
Did you actually make it out to LA or did you just stay in your
Yeah,
area?
no, we went up there and yeah, so I got to see it and bro, first time at In-N-Out Burger, amazing,
And what'd you think?
bro, amazing,
What
amazing.
about
I
the
like
fries though?
whoa, trash. The fries are trash. I was like, don't ever serve me those fries again. I was like, those are garbage.
Uh,
But the burger,
yeah,
amazing, amazing.
I agree with that statement. Did you get it? What is it called? Animal style or
I
whatever?
guess I posted one. Someone was like, "You should have got the animal." You like next time you go back, order it this way, this way. And I was like, oh. So I did. Yeah, we did go a few times, and it was fucking amazing. It was great. Definitely, I'm like,
I don't know what they do to their fries, but I'm like, your burgers are so banging, but the fries, my
trash,
God, they're
right?
trash.
Trash. I was like, oh, this is trash. I'm so confused right now. So
Yeah, I'm
confused.
like, can I get like some plain chips or something? Like, I don't want these fries.
So, as a matter of fact, hey, like, the second time I there, it's like, yeah, can you just, you want to make it
I don't
no,
want that.
I don't want the meal. Just the burger, please, and a Diet Coke, thanks.
Yeah,
We're good on the fries. We're okay.
yeah. Instead of fries, give me a side of another burger.
Yeah, double burger, please, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, but on the workshop, I think we talked about this a little bit on the workshop, man. I'm on my obviously um, would love to be promoted, but in the meantime, taking on a new endeavor. So I'll be taking over, doing we call it AI, accident investigator spot.
is
Starting
that
back.
Monday?
I mean Tuesday because we'll be in Savannah Monday for St. Patrick's Day, but Tuesday. Yeah, so
Nice.
next week we'll be starting a new endeavor. So still a street cop, if you will, but just a little bit more focused on one particular thing. I know a lot of people hate crashes. I don't mind them. Um, it's another thing where it's you get some of these training classes where you're looking at scene recreation and looking at the science of it. I enjoy that kind of shit. So it'll definitely be a change of scenery. Going back to change the districts somewhere different. Back to actually some of our old stomping grounds. So we'll kind of be the area, Grant Park area, and Brandon,
Yes.
some of that. So it's time for a change. So we'll see what happens.
I think you're gonna love it, bro. I was talking to Mo about that, and she's like, "That is perfect," because you take the calls you want to take. I mean, not crashes are crashes, but you can jump on calls, not jump on calls, back up people, not whatever you want to do, bro.
Yeah. The one thing, being responsible for his own is a little bit different than the. Hey, there's really nothing going on for me per se, but so I'll be probably doing a lot more traffic stops, if you will,
Oh
and
God help him.
yeah, you have to gotta help out. So I talked to the current major is used to be my phase one FTO, so so you know how that goes.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
so I spoke with them last week, and they're excited. And we went over some old stories. She's like, remember when you fell asleep in my car the very first day at FTO? I was like, I don't remember that. She's like, yeah, I know because you were asleep. I was like, well, you know.
I remember showing up to the meeting in FTO and I fell asleep writing a report, and the corporal was like, "Scary, right?" And I was like, "Whew, whew."
Some of these FTO stores was like, oh, I'm so lucky that I have a job still because I don't know how I managed some FTO shit, bro.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I remember, as a matter of fact, I don't even know if she caught this one. I think you caught it. I didn't have my badge on one day.
That's right.
You're like, so you're a cop today? You know,
Yeah, what are we doing, bro?
what you doing? You good? You all right?
Didn't you put your cred badge on there, like the little baby
I
junior
did
badge?
I did as a He's like, you're an idiot. You're dumb. I was like, well, you know, I never claimed to not be an idiot, but you know, it's fine.
Eh,
It's okay.
is what it is.
It's what it is, huh?
You're out of uniform, recruit.
Yeah. I don't know. Give me a demerit or something, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, shoot bucks.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Let's get into
Yeah, bro. Good things.
this basketball thing. What do you think about this WNBA sitting out thing?
I will never understand how you sign a contract to get paid, whether it's millions of dollars,
Hmm.
thousands of dollars, or fucking hundreds of dollars. I don't give a shit. We kind of talked about it with LeBron James, but I think you're referring to the Angel Reese thing where she's like, they don't pay me more or whatever. I'm going to sit out games. It's like you getting paid. I don't know. I don't know how much she's getting paid, but you're getting paid more than people working, at the fucking Publix or whatever
Yeah.
to play a game.
Hmm.
And people buy tickets, tune in, whatever, advertising dollars to watch you play. I think there's a time and a place, but also you don't have to sign the contract.
Hmm. I think the biggest issue is here.
I, one more, BJ, we're going to pay you $100,000 a year to be a cop and a bomb guy. I'm not saying that's what you get paid, but that's what.
Yeah.
And then you go, you know what? I feel like that's not enough money. I'm just going to sit out. I'm not going to do this. In what world does that work besides sports, bro?
Yeah, it doesn't.
In what world can you say, nah, no?
Yeah,
And
no.
again, I understand, because again, we talk about with LeBron and stuff. It's like, whatever, he saves himself. Again, I understand that shit takes a beating on your body. Football, baseball, all that. I mean, it is a grind. I fully understand the concept.
Hmm.
And maybe that's in his contract. Like, hey, I'll guarantee you 10 minutes a game or whatever. And again, if they sign a contract saying, okay, yeah, we're cool with it, well, then there you go, whatever, right? We're all, at that point, you're all adults. But if it's like, hey, you're the star, everybody wants to see you, we saved up this money to go see you, and then you're like, I'm not feeling it today, this game doesn't matter, I'm going to sit it out. That could all be true, but again, the only reason that you're making all that money and everybody's watching is because you're playing. It's because you're on the team. You're there. They want to watch you play.
Hmm.
So when you're cheating the fans, you're cheating the people that put you there. I just have an issue with it, man. And I don't care what league. I don't care what position. I don't care if you are no name, whatever. A fucking, I always got love for the linemen, but most people don't know who the linemen are. It don't matter, bro. Like people are paying money to see you play the game, whether you win or lose. It matters. But the thing is, they want to watch their favorite player play.
Hmm.
And so you want to position yourself to be the face of the league or whatever, and then you're going to come out and be like, "No, fuck it. I don't like this. No violation of contract. It's not like some violation shit. I've seen that where it's like, yo, they're cheating me out of my money. They owe me 5 mil or they owe me whatever. That's not what's happening. I just don't like it, so I'm going to sit out. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I think I've heard her issue and her problem I think is the problem with most of the WNBA. Same argument they've been having for a while, right? They're talking about the pay that they get, right? So I think, for example, Caitlin Clark, who is obviously the most popular, women's basketball player, whatever, and she's on her rookie contract. I think it was like 76,000 or whatever. So essentially, she wants to sit out for they're not getting paid enough. And I'm like, okay, but like you said, you signed the contract, you should honor your contract, right? You
Yeah,
signed
you
the
signed it.
honor your contract, right? But if the pay is here's the thing about the pay. The league, WNBA is subsidized by the NBA. So
Correct.
the league doesn't actually make money. So the problem is them. It's not like they're not paying you. They're paying you based off of the value of the league as a whole. So
Yep.
you want to have these $1 million contracts. I'm like, where's that money going to come from? Because the league in and of itself is not generating the money to disperse. I was like, NBA players get paid what they get paid because the teams make money. They have TV contracts. They have the collective bargaining agreement. So their contracts are big because they produce and they're generating all this money. But EVA is not. It doesn't unless not necessarily. They're not generating money in a profit. So I don't understand what. I don't get. I don't get what the. I don't get what the argument is as a league wanting to get paid more. So if you want to get paid more, you have to take it up, have the fans come out and watch you more. You know, the product. The product. I won't say the product is not good. The product that you're producing is not generating the funds to be dispersed amongst the rest of the players to the level that you think they should be dispersed at. And that's
Yeah.
not that like whose fault is that though?
Uh, I agree. And again, they keep wanting to make it like a sexist thing and a racial
No,
thing. And bro, it's sports, dude. Like
sports.
nobody gives.
It's sports.
I don't know anybody that says, "Oh, there's too many whites on the team. I can't watch." No, they don't.
No.
Most people who are fans of a sport or a team is sport or a team, and people are emotionally invested. And I think Bill Burr said it one time. He was just like, "I'll never understand the WNBA bitching about making money." And all these, all these, a million women will march. He goes, well, where are those women on game day? Go buy tickets, tune in, buy the packages, whatever it is. He goes, men are the most psychotic fans that you'll ever
Mm-hmm.
meet. They will shut down entire Sundays. They will cancel family vacations because they can
Yeah,
go see a game.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
that's why those guys get hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't understand it.
I don't know. Again, like I said, I won't say that that they don't make a good product because they're very, very highly skilled. They're definitely highly skilled athletes,
Oh,
and
bro, they beat me. Fuck.
yeah, they're highly skilled athletes. So I won't say that the product is not good, right? But
Yeah,
they got some real live hoopers out there for sure.
yeah,
But again, the product that they're putting out is not generating the funds. And again, that's not necessarily the NBA's fault. It's not anybody else's fault. I don't even know. I can't even say that it's the WNBA's fault. That's just the way that it currently is. So until that part changes, there's really not much to be discussed as far as the money is concerned.
yeah. And look, it was some sports show. I can't remember what they talked about. They've talked about like, hey, lower the rim so they could, because got people like dunks and they like to see people, Steph Curry shooting half court threes, like 3 or 4 a game, like it's nothing. Like he's shooting like it's a fucking jumper. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like a little jump shot.
But that's why Caitlin Clark's so popular because she does that.
She does those things, right?
Well, she don't dunk, but she shoots.
No, no, I know, but she'll
Yeah,
fucking 15 feet off the three and just hit it and just keep going like she knows
yeah,
she'll win it. Yeah, that again, the average viewer, the average person can't do that shit, and it's
no.
impressive to watch. And they're like, "Yo, you're watching greatness."
Hmm.
That's what people pay money. They want to see people do amazing things. And then, so then when that's happening, and then you want to undercut all of that with some other bullshit that means nothing to sports,
Yeah,
you know, it detracts from the game. It makes it less fun. Now it's like, well, fuck it, I'm just not even gonna watch it anymore. I don't care. I don't want to watch it.
yeah,
And dude, I said it with the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. I understand what he was saying. I understand it, but time and a place, and you're detracted from the game that may put you on the map, bro. I don't watch sports so I can get a political message. I just don't. And I'm not sitting there saying, shut up and dribble or whatever. I can't remember all the commentary. I'm not saying any of that. You're entitled to your opinion. I think you should be able to talk whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's that guy in the Celtics. He's super anti-China and all that stuff, and the league's having a hard time dealing with him. And he's wearing it on his shoes during the game. And and again, whether I agree or disagree, I'm not watching these games so that you can tell me your political views. There's other platforms for that. There's other avenues for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never understand why you would detract from what put you on the map, what got you there. You know, I, I see a lot of the superstar. It's like they're not grateful, dude. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's no other industry in the world that you could go be an employee and make more than the fucking supervisors. Like the players are making 10, 100x more sometimes than the coaches, bro.
Yeah.
And if you're
Yeah.
so angry about, oh well, there's not enough owners or player owners,
Mm-hmm.
then buy a team.
Pull your money back.
What do you want me to tell you? I mean,
Yeah.
people do it. Jordan did it. Magic Johnson did it. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing some people, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that own large stakes of it. See what I'm saying? Like they put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah. The Kaepernick thing in particular was weird to me. Again, the message being what it is. But the thing that was weird to me with that whole thing was the NFL didn't have to show it. Like if you didn't agree
Yeah, I
with
know.
it
They
as a
fully went on board with it. Yeah, you're right.
you didn't have to show it.
Nope.
You didn't have to put it on TV. You didn't have to air that part. You didn't have to air that portion. You don't have to put the camera on them.
Yep. I
You
agree
could
with you wholeheartedly.
you could 100% leave. You could leave that part out. So by continuing to like do it and focus on it and focus on it and focus on it, like I think the NFL made more a bigger deal of it, and obviously places like ESPN and some of these other places that are like hyper focused on it. I'm like, if it was that bothering you that much, especially well, I guess more not necessarily ESPN because they're going to talk about shit that they want to talk about, but as far as the league is concerned, I was like, you don't have to put that on camera. I was
Yeah.
like, and if you don't want ESPN talking about it, you can revoke that part of the rights to the footage and say, hey, we don't want you showing this.
Yeah, correct.
So to me, that whole thing was kind of strange. It was like all these people seemed to have a problem with it. It was like, but you kept putting it on TV.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
But I agree. I think time and place. I mean, but I think I wonder if some of that is just the nature of the job that we're doing. Whereas you try to leave some of this my personal views. Like I don't talk about I don't talk about politics at all. I don't discuss politics with people because I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not trying to convince you to change your mind on something that your mind's already made up. And my mind's
Yep.
already made up on some things. There's really no need to like. It's like I don't understand why people get so worked up about like you should see things my way. Like no, I see it the way I see it. And if it lines up, it lines up. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But at the same time, it's like that don't mean we can't agree on other shit. It's like we just don't happen to see this particular thing the same way. It doesn't mean I think you're a bad person or whatever. But that's one of the things I just don't even talk about. I just don't because it doesn't make sense to me to talk about. But
Well, on the law enforcement side, like the forgive me, the individual that died in New York selling Lucy cigarettes,
mhm.
and again, I remember going, Lucy cigarettes, what the fuck? Like, I could care less about that shit, but
Some shit's about it.
right? But listen, I think it was an ordinance, and so the mayor or the governor, however the fucking thing worked out,
How
they were like, this is what you need to be focusing on. Period. The end. Your job is not to question. Your job is to go enforce. I mean, there's been a few things where I'm like, I don't agree with this either, but this is
Yeah.
the law. This is the ordinance. This is how things are done here. And my job, the reason taxpayers pay me, is to enforce this. If you have an issue with it, change it.
Yeah, yeah. Change
Now,
the
I
law.
agree that there's ways to go about it. I understand all that concept. You know, actually, this is a question, bro. It's something I've been thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much like, because we talked about, George Floyd and some of these things. It's like, yes, a law was broken,
Yeah.
violated. I still stand by, you broke the law. A uniformed law enforcement officer, fully identified with the power to take your freedom away, is saying you broke a law, you're going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to go to jail. They want to fight
Well,
sometimes, right?
nobody would
Right,
say
whatever. How far do you push that?
the enforcement part,
Yes.
or are you talking about the enforcement part, or affecting the arrest part?
Affecting the arrest. I think you got to enforce it because you've seen the chaos and mayhem
Yeah,
in
you have to enforce
California where people just robbing stores blind. It's like you
it.
got to enforce that shit.
You have to enforce it.
But just like with car chases and stuff like that, they basically said unless it's a felony or a violent criminal, we ain't doing them. Not doing them for traffic.
Slippery slope, man. I think you can. Ah, um,
George Floyd's not a good one because he was already in custody and handcuffs when all the
that's
everything went down.
yeah,
So that
that's
it's not a good representation. But I think the Lucy cigarette one is. They said, "Hey, bro, you can't do this. You know, you've been arrested for this 40 something times.
hmm
Fuck you, I ain't going to jail." Like, how hard? Like, do you fight this dude, or do you say, "Well, all right, we're gonna get a warrant and we'll come back and snatch your ass up"? Like, how far do you push it for a non-violent offense?
That's a good question.
And I don't have an answer because you
Yeah,
can't have everybody saying, "Hey, it ain't a felony. Fuck you. You ain't taking me to jail." You can't have that going on.
yeah. See, that's another thing too. You can't really have that either, right? Because you just ends up being more of it. Not to say that not to say you're setting, you're making people an example. I was like, but if you don't do this, you are set. It's one of the few jobs where every time you do it has the potential to set a precedent
Yeah,
going forward, right?
yeah,
So if you, I guess if you don't handle it the right way, you know what I mean? You could be setting a precedent that will make it harder the next time, or it's almost like it's like when you're like with the kids, bro. It's like, hey, if you let this, bedtime is 9 p.m. and you let this thing slide two and three times, it's only gonna be make it more difficult to rein it in, the fourth, fifth, and sixth time going down the line.
yeah,
Um, so I think you obviously have to, but like you said, it's for like the non-violent ones. Put it this way: there's plenty of times I've come across shit in my career where it's like, hey man, so and so fled from a traffic stop, or they took off on the thing. It's like, do we know who they are? Yeah, give them another day. It's not, we're not gonna push this thing to the very end and jeopardize other people for the sake of just this one thing. When we know who this person is, we'll just get them later.
yeah,
We'll do it in a more tactful way to affect this arrest without putting other people in danger. I think now if you can do it, now if you can back up and readjust and do it in a more tactful way, I think obviously that's probably the better idea in the long run, as opposed to just forcing the envelope right in the like in that sense, right in the moment, has the potential to exasperate things a lot higher than they need to be. Right now, if
yeah,
something needs to happen right now, then that's a completely different story. But if we can do this in a different way, in a different manner, like it's like, oh, there's a guy we come across 30 times. We know where he lives. We know where to find him. If he's not actively doing something right now, this minute, I'll get you tomorrow. And that's the nature of the game, really.
Well, and it's interesting to me because criminals, the different types of crimes, you got someone with a kilo of cocaine.
hmm
The way law enforcement designed is, they will set up a fucking tag team, SWAT team, kick that dude's door in, pit him, sometimes ram him,
hmm
anything they can do to grab that motherfucker into cocaine. But then you got a guy who's done $100 million in wire fraud, stealing people's money, retirement, whatever, right? One, it takes years for that case to go anywhere. Two, you get a warrant for their arrest, and you typically call them, call their lawyer, and say, "Hey, we got a warrant. You need to turn yourself in." One dude has committed $100 million worth of crime.
hmm
The other dude has, what, 30, 40 grand? It's
hmm
dope. I get it. They're both felonies. They're both federal felonies.
hmm But
But
what?
you and I both know you call the dope boy, the dude with the hey, you need to turn yourself in. They ain't gonna
Yeah.
turn themselves in. But
No.
but I will tell you on the white collar side, I don't know. I don't want majority of the time, 70, 80% of the time. Yeah. Hey, I'm here. I'm turning myself in.
Yeah, I got all my things in order.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Both are felonies. Both are non-violent in nature, right? Just possession of cocaine. You know, not you know. I understand it before I get fucking bombarded with yeah, but the coke and the effect on the community.
Well,
Let
I
me
get
tell you
it.
something. Let me
I
tell
know.
you something. I get it, but have 1,000 people's retirement stolen.
That's it. Yeah.
What's the effect on that community, bruh?
Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just wrote a white collar crime case
Yep.
last week. It was actually on the news. Lady was stealing money from as a cancer survivor who was like bedridden, whatever. And since she, long story short, took her phone from her, went on her phone, bought herself cruises, wrote herself checks out, this lady's
Yeah,
checkbook,
sure.
blah, whatever. And I'm like, it's like I think that lady's a piece of shit. It's like, of course, 100% you should go to jail, like immediately. I'm like, if I could push that thing to the envelope by the end of the shift, I would have taken her to jail that night. But do we view some of these crimes as more heinous than the other ones? Like you said, the $100 million white collar crime is going to take probably longer, restitution wise, to get that result than the
Yep.
than the 40 kilos of coke dope boy. There's really no restitution there. I mean, you know what I mean? I was like, but like you said, what is the effect level of both of those things?
And this is the other thing with the dope boy. Typically, the state is the victim.
Yeah,
The state or the federal government.
yeah,
With white collar, you get all three. You get the federal government, you get the state, and then you actually have real victims that come and say, "Yeah, I'm now destitute. I can't pay this, my bills, you stole my credit, my whatever." All these, but yet they are still treated completely different.
yeah. Wow, yeah, well, yeah. It's crazy to me.
People don't think about that stuff. Like, when was that? Hey, we're in hot pursuit, vehicle pursuit, pitting the subject, for wire fraud and mail fraud. Oh, that shit does not happen. It does not happen. That will get called off so quick.
Forcible felony, sir.
Yeah, it's like, but hey, we got a drug dealer. We have warrants. He's got 100 kilos.
Like it's you know what?
Bro, they'll set up roadblocks. They'll shoot his fucking car with rifles and pit him and
Like
fucking
all he's got is trafficking charges, like possession. That's it.
yeah. What are we doing? I know, bro. Hey, bro, we're about to get blasted. Anybody listen to this? Be like, oh no, it's not the same. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got it, bro. I got it.
It's like I beg to differ. I think they're both like you said, they're both felonies, but I would lean on the side of the white collar thing because, like you said, it's actually affecting real people in real time
Yeah,
who can't necessarily get that back. Like it's going to
yeah,
be very, very difficult to get that money back and reimbursed. Some of these people worked their whole life and they're just going to blink for that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Please don't blast us for this. All right.
Oh, we're gonna get blasted, bro. Forget it. We're gonna get blasted.
Please don't blast us for this. Oh shit, man.
That's it for me, brother. You got anything else you want to leave with?
Oh, bro. Any good conspiracies, Nelly?
I mean, I think we've run out of all good conspiracies, dude. Um, I do find it's not a conspiracy; it's what's happening. But the rage and just violence towards Elon Musk and the administration, not even for rooting out fraud and
Yeah,
waste.
it's weird that people are upset about that.
It's like this should be the one thing that everyone can go, yeah, we don't want that either. We can talk about how you use the money, terror,
Yeah,
put all that to the side.
yeah.
We're just trying to root out the fraud and the waste. Why is a 250-year-old person getting Social Security? If that
First,
person's alive, let me know because that's amazing.
yeah. First of all, I want to meet him.
Why are we spending? Again, this is the other. I understand soft power. I get it. Yeah, we're giving this country 20 million for whatever, but really it's because we're paying off them so that we can have a base there and get fuel when we need it. I understand all that,
Yeah, yeah.
but let's internalize that. Like the EPA guy is like, hey, I found 20 billion with a B, and everyone just goes, "Ah, let's just drop in the bucket." I'm sorry,
I'm sorry.
it ain't in my bucket.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, put some of that money in my bucket then. Shit,
Wait, shit, I'll take that.
that was just parked in a bank account, just sitting there. Why? Who's that for?
Yeah,
And then all these NGOs, which are supposed to be non-government, entities and shit, having hundreds of millions, if not billions, funneled to them. And it's like, and they're starting to, hey, where is this NGO set up? They go to the address. Nobody's there.
yeah,
This is fraud, waste, and abuse. What are we doing? And why it's not a bipartisan, why everybody can't go, yep, let's cut all that out. Then we can argue and fight about what to do with it. Sure, 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 sure.
hmm
But just that part of it,
yeah,
the vitriol,
yeah. So what do we? Why we?
and the asinine, Elon Musk is trying to get your social security numbers. I don't think he needs it. I just I
Don't need it.
just don't think he needs it, bro.
Don't
Now
need it.
listen, on the other side of that, when he was talking about he does 90% of all the rocket launches all over the world and all this shit like that.
Mhm.
I trust Elon Musk as much as I know his presence, social media presence.
Yeah,
I don't know him. He could be a diabolical villain. Maybe. I don't know. I watch him on Rogan. I watch him on all these things. Yeah. I think he's a weird dude, but I think he's smart, and I think he has, well, I'm hesitating on good intent, but
he has some intention. Yeah,
in his mind, it's good intentions, right?
yeah,
He wants the boring company. He wants the subterranean travel. He wants to colonize Mars, right? He wants to make space travel more efficient. Like, yeah, okay. Uh, but you're kind of collecting power behind one man, one company.
hmm
That has never been good in the history of the world. Never, ever, ever has it ever.
That's the thing. Absolute power.
Because
Absolutely.
he again, I'm hesitating on the word good, but his aspirations are
Very grand.
good,
Yeah.
reasonably. But what happens when he passes and somebody else takes over? Well, now you've solidified all this power and contracting it under one entity, and now you're swapping out that. Well, what is that person's intentions? Maybe not as good.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know, bro. It's I'm interested to see how this thing plays out over the next 3 or 4 years,
Yeah, dude.
for sure. Especially by the end of this administration, I'm interested to see how it's going to look at it towards the end.
I'm more interested in the next election and seeing the results of 4 years of whatever ends up happening, because I think that'll be kind of a watermark for where things are going to be for the next 10, 20 years.
hmm
A lot of chaos right now, but it is what it is. And I don't know. It's one of those wait and see things. But Elon was on Rogan, and he threw out again, it's one man's
Yeah.
perspective, but he's like, it's an 80% chance that AI will be a net good for the world. And I'm like, well, so what is the other 20%? Oh,
20%.
complete world devastation. I'm like, well, I don't like those odds.
We'll see how this movie starts. So,
Let me hand you a gun that has 10 bullets and two of them are duds. How confident are you?
yeah. Oh wait,
Or
what?
no, 8 are duds and 2 are live.
Yeah.
I still don't want to play that game.
No. I'm good on that, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm okay. I'm okay. But it's a. I know people can say this in any generation, right? But I'm like, it's a strange time. A strange time, not weird. And well, on conspiracy theory wise,
Yeah, I didn't really answer your question. I
no,
was,
no, no.
yeah,
Conspiracy theory wise, I think it's we speak on the advancements of our civilization, right? And I think it's very arrogant for us to think that we are the only civilization that's ever existed on this fucking planet at any
yeah,
point in time. I'm like, it's, how many billions of years old is this? I was like, we've only got what? How many thousands of years of maybe recorded history that's probably not even recorded accurately, right? So to think that we're the height of human evolution is wild to me. Um, but again, we can touch on this another time. But things like Tartaria, interesting. Some of these old buildings that have been around hundreds of years, are like older than the country almost. I'm like, so let me get this straight. This building's been here made of complete limestone and copper tops, and it was like, but You built this in the 1900s, 1800s, and you built it in 2 months. I was like, well, we can't build my house in 2 months.
Yeah.
A single story out of what is like what is happening? It's like something's happening. It's like no. So that's one thing that's interesting to me is the construction of the world and how old they actually tell us that it really is. I'm like, there's other shit going on here, but we'll get into we can get into a whole conspiracy theory driven fucking episode at some point. I think it's interesting to me. Think about it.
Yeah, let me think on that. But yeah, we'll save that for another one. But I do like it.
Tartarian. Look at that.
I'm on it, bro.
There we go.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. Stay safe.
All right, brother. I'll see you soon.
And whoop.